Hi, beautiful people. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Okay, Wednesday. So, the Ooh, did I butcher that title? Democratic National Convention with Michelle Obama. Let me share my screen for educational and fair use purposes only. Forgive me for missing a couple of days, but I am grieving the loss of my poodle still. I did get out of bed though today. I made myself work. I lasted a half a day, which is better than nothing, but yeah, going through a little bit. So let me share my screen. I'm gonna get right into it. And I'm gonna give my thoughts as non-biased as possible. Oh shoot, that's not what I meant to do. Hold on. Wrong screen. I haven't done this in a second. Wait. Hold on, you guys. I'll be right back. Hey, King. My head. I'm gonna get it together. Hold on. I don't know what I did with my. All right, I have to reset it up. Give me a second. Hold on. I know that they're on day 3 right now with the Democratic National Convention, but I wanted to look at Michelle Obama's speech, and I'm only going to be here with you guys for a second, okay? Give me 1 second. Sorry. Why am I nervous today? I shouldn't be. I can't see you guys, so give me 1 second. Okay, I gotta find my clip again. I think it's here. Oh no, I can't find it. Wing it. Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna use this one. Sorry, guys. Okay. Hopefully this works. It's been a minute. Here we go. Can y'all hear it or no?
Something wonderfully magical is in the air, isn't it?
You can hear it. Thank you, King. I appreciate you.
We're feeling it here in this arena, but it's spreading all across this country we love. A familiar feeling that's been buried too deep for far too long. You know what I'm talking about. It's the contagious power of hope. The anticipation, the energy, the exhilaration of once again being on the cusp of a brighter day.
Okay, I'm going to say this and I'm going to let it play. Hold on, you guys. I wish, okay, so they're really pushing this hope agenda and all of these things. And I really wish that the Democratic Party would stick with the policies and stop trying to sell us these false dreams. And as I'm listening to this and listening to all the Trump rhetoric, I just find it really disappointing. And I just feel that they're trying to sell America a false dream because we already had the Obamas in presidency. We already seen what Kamala could do as vice president, which in my opinion was absolutely nothing. So as I listen to this, I'm going to just listen. And it's really interesting that they really don't address the policies. They kind of just sell us this dream of what we want to hear. Okay, that's just my opinion. I'm going to let it play.
To vanquish the demons of fear, division, and hate that have consumed us and continue pursuing the unfinished promise of this great nation, the dream that our parents and grandparents fought and died and sacrificed for. America, hope is making a comeback.
False dreams.
To be honest, I am realizing that until recently, I have mourned the dimming of that hope. And maybe you've experienced the same feelings, that deep pit in my stomach, a palpable sense of dread about the future. And for me, that mourning has also been mixed with my own personal grief. The last time I was here in my hometown was to memorialize my mother, the woman who showed me the meaning of hard work and humility and decency, the woman who set my moral compass high and showed me the power of my own voice. Folks, I still feel her loss so profoundly. I wasn't even sure if I'd be steady enough to stand before you tonight, but my heart compelled me to be here because of the sense of duty that I feel to honor her memory and to remind us all not to squander the sacrifices our elders made to give us a better future. You see, my mom, in her steady, quiet way, lived out that striving sense of hope every single day of her life. She believed that all children, all people have value, that anyone can succeed if given the opportunity. She and my father didn't aspire to be wealthy. In fact, they were suspicious of folks who took more than they needed. They understood that it wasn't enough for their kids to thrive if everyone else around us was drowning. This work that for generations have been passed on, guard units and social studies classrooms. Those were the values my mother poured into me until her more than we take. She'd often tell her daughter, don't sit around and complain about things, do something. So, with that voice in her head, Kamala went out and she worked hard in school, graduating from an HBCU, earning her law degree at a state school. And then she went on to work for the people, fighting to hold lawbreakers accountable, strengthening the rule of law, fighting to get folks better wages, cheaper prescription drugs, a good education, decent health care, child care, elder care. From a middle-class household, Kamala worked her way up to become Vice President of the United States of America. My girl, Kamala Harris, is more
Hey,
than
TC.
ready for this moment.
You're not going to like my opinion on this
She is
convention,
one of the most
but
qualified people ever to seek the office of the presidency. And she is one of the most dignified. A tribute to her mother, to my mother, and to
TC.
your mother too. The embodiment of the stories we tell ourselves about this country. Her story is your story.
it's not my
It's my
story.
story. It's the story of the vast majority of Americans trying to build a better life. Look, Kamala knows, like we do, that regardless of where you come from, what you look like, who you love, how you worship, or what's in your bank account, we all deserve the opportunity to build a decent life. All of our contributions deserve.
Okay, that sounds great. Let me get out of this for a second. Wait, how do I find y'all? No, I'm tired of her. How do I find you guys again? There you go. Okay, let me say this. That sounds great. Okay, what bothers me is trying to pull on Americans' heartstrings with this sympathy story, how she brings up her mom and stuff like that, condolences. But at the end of the day, we've seen what Kamala could do, because she was vice president, and she was a very quiet vice president, except to tell us that President Biden was in good health, only for him to have a terrible debate and then have to leave, be trolled into leaving, or forced out into leaving, because we could see his health. We also remember she said that everybody deserves a chance, but for those of us that live in California, we do understand how she imprisoned a lot of people, okay, with longer sentences that I feel was necessary, not just me, but a lot of people, because she left it up to the prisons to decide how long they were in prison for. Okay, so if they were sentenced to whatever, the prisons, if they felt that they needed to still be there, they'll still be there. And you guys can look it up. She's responsible for a lot of people being incarcerated, and whatever happened to their second chances. Not only that, why is she trying to separate from the title of being a border czar? So I just feel, and all of I feel like they're using a lot of fear tactics against the Republican Party, trying to demonize it. But really what's happening is a lot of the things that they're blaming the Republican Party for actually started with the Democratic Party. President Trump never said he's trying to take away a woman's right to do a woman's right to choose. He left it up to the states to regulate that, but he is against terminating pregnancy late and things like that. I just think that this scare tactic is just, I think the American people have had enough, and I would love to hear the Democratic Party address policies and stop with all the mudslinging and all of that, because I would like to hear their plans on how they plan on doing the things that they promised, and I'm really tired of these broken promises. That's what I'm gonna have to say. How you doing, Hume Forever First Lady? Our forever First Lady, she's I'll be respectful. Gretchen Whitmer has been my governor for the past 4 years. I email her cabinet every week. She never contacts me back. She lied to Roland Martin. Really, Detroit is still the same as 2008. I feel that, number one, this election, it is going to matter, but all of the things that they have promised, they've had a chance to already deliver, and they fell, okay? She was First Lady. And I find it interesting, you guys, that you had President Obama and then Joe Biden, the vice president, become president. And now it's, we have Joe Biden. Sorry if I get something wrong, you guys. I know I'm a little out of it right now. You have Joe Biden endorsing Kamala, but they don't actually address things that haven't been done. All they want to do is try to demonize Trump, twist his words, make him seem like this devil. I'm not going to lie. He says things that's outrageous sometimes. Okay, he does. But when it comes to policies and the American people, he does what he says he's going to do. Okay, and I do not get that from the other party. They fail to control the border. I live in California, where if you go to the border, you see people crossing, and Border Control just watches and they do nothing. Now, that's not what you're going to see on TV, but I live here, okay? I have videoed it. I filmed it. And for me, I do believe in protecting borders, and I don't feel that that's something that they really care about, because if they did, Kamala, as the border czar, could have done more. She was quiet, and I don't know, you guys. I was just expecting more. So today's day 3. Today's day 3, and I have been watching, but I don't see anything being addressed. I see a lot of rap music being played. I see a lot of other stuff, but I just think for me it falls flat. Okay. But isn't the vice president role generally supposed to be a silent role? Isn't actually she wasn't silent. I am human first. But let me read the rest of the comment. Isn't a vice president supposed to be the president's ride or die? Didn't Pence hide Trump's January 6th secrets? Why would Kamala be judged differently? Actually, she wasn't silent because she was the tiebreaker in a lot of Biden's rulings and dealings that she's trying to separate herself from. All the policies that he was criticized for when it was a tie, Kamala was the one as vice president to break the tie. So she wasn't silent. She's just trying to separate herself from a lot of things. Okay. Now, later, I'm going to talk about this Project 2025 that they're trying to tie Trump with. You can tie Trump to Agenda 47, but not Project 2025 because he has separated himself from that. And I'm not saying that's another stream for another day. But as far as this DNC right now, for me, it just is. It's like there's a lot of celebrating, a lot of we're not going back. We're not going back to where? If I'm not mistaken, it was the Democratic Party that tried to hold Black people back. And now they're trying to make it seem like, oh my God, we're for all the people. If you were for all the people, you never would have passed those racist laws in the first place. You never would have talked about Black codes and trying to keep us out of the voting office, right? Except when you need our vote. So I'm not understanding it. They're selling you guys a false dream. And I hate to see people let down election after election. Here comes folklore. Okay. Hi, just my thoughts. And you guys, this is not to bash either party. I don't want to do that. I just want to look at it like this because I have people in the chat that's Democrat, and I have some I think that are Republican. And I'm not trying to do that. But what I am saying is, when are we going to address policies? Because it's not the individual. It's the, hey, Godmama. Hey, I did catch part of y'all stream earlier. I don't know if you've seen my comments. I don't have any mods in the chat that could drop your link, Godmama, or else I would. I can't multitask yet. So I would like to see, besides all the name calling, again, I've seen Jasmine and her trendy little words that to me felt very flat and corny. I'm so sorry, it's out of place, because when you're so busy slandering, calling Trump a villain and all that stuff, it really makes you look bad. It makes you look bad because I'm wondering, why are you so busy trying to put all these labels on your opponent anyway? If you could just speak about what you guys are talking about, tell us why, how we're going to do these things, because what Trump is speaking about is making people wealthier so we can take care of ourselves. We don't need all these handouts. I'm not talking about reparations or things like that, because it was the Republican Party that passed the bill for reparations to be knocked down by the Democratic Party. So what I am talking about, though, are the lies that the Democratic Party is spitting out, saying that Trump wants to get rid of the middle class and make them poor. That is not true. That is not true. But isn't it the Democratic Party that's trying to give us all these handouts and keep us stuck on a system to where we can only make what they say that we can make? I'm telling you right now that if they were going to do all of these things, they would have done it a long time ago. They would have done it. And they haven't. What do they do every election? They do all these rallies, they go campaigning, and we end up in the same situation, falling for the same dream. Stop telling the lies. I would be more interested in what they had to say if they weren't telling all these lies on the Republican Party. The Republican Party, what do we believe in? We have the right to bear arms, okay? We believe, not all believe in pro-life. That depends on your Christian values. Okay, let's be real. But we do have a strong Christian morals. Okay, we believe in traditions, less government involvement in our life. Right? We believe in, yes. So those are some of our core values, and there's more to it than that. But I just don't like this whole, okay, you guys need to watch out for the devils, the Republican Party, because let me tell you something. We are not the ones that came up with these grandfather clauses. We are not the ones that came up with the 3 strikes laws and the war on drugs and all of that, which was a war on people. And what I found interesting was Hillary Clinton had the nerve to try to villainize Trump when she was the one that called us super predators. Remember our babies? So why didn't she talk about that? And I just thought, look at these devils. Look at them. Okay? But if you call them out on that, what did she do? She came out here and apologized. So all I'm saying to you guys is, hey, Daniel, it's 5:23. Okay, hey, Mel, I'm not going to be here with you guys long because I just wish that people would take their biases out of the conversation, take it out, and let's have an actual conversation about it. You can't call Trump a racist if you yourself have made racist remarks. And why so many people are so focused on Trump, why didn't anybody ask Hillary, what about the super predators? What about demonizing our babies and all of that? What about that? It didn't just go away overnight. If you want to talk about a president, they keep trying to throw fear on what Trump might do. He didn't do that. He was president. Joe Biden said he didn't want his children on the bus with black kids. They didn't need to go to the same school. That's what he said as president. So all I'm saying is take your biases out of it. If you want to call one person a racist, call out everybody else that made racist remarks, okay? When I watch these clips, they're edited of Trump. Why not play the full speech? How you doing, Mel? Why not play the full speech? That's all I'm saying. Am I wrong, you guys? I just feel blacks aren't capable of being racist. Hillary's not black. What are we talking about? That's what I was talking about. Hang on, So we have what is it, roughly 2.5 months before the election? September, October, less than 3 months before the election. I just want people to wake up and judge things for themselves. It's like they fight hard for the black vote until they get into office. And then it becomes, oh, it's just about everybody. Now, I'm not saying forget about the rest of the country. That's not what I'm saying. But before the election, stop making it seem as if we are your priority, because we're not. We're not. Trump wants America to be strong. We didn't have all these wars and things going on when Trump was in office, okay? The inflation, all of those things. No. Roe versus Wade didn't start with Trump. I just wish they would stop lying on this man. Stop trying to use fear. Stop trying to pull our heartstrings, telling us about, oh, you know, I'm going to speak and oh, this person passed away before I speak and blah, 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 blah. Just stick with the policies. That's all I'm saying. So that way we can make up our own minds. We don't need all the propaganda. Okay. We need for to pass immigrants, DACA to whites get Social Security and immunities. Okay. Blacks aren't capable of being racist. I hear that, but if I know what they say, blacks can only be prejudiced. I say if you don't like another race, that makes you racist. I don't know. Am I wrong in my opinion? Respectfully, in terms of Jasmine calling names, how can name calling be a concern when Trump is king of name calling? Isn't that a bit unfair? Did Trump call anybody a villain? Did Trump, we heard Obama's speech where if I had more time, I would go into it. Or he's talking about his size, mimicking him. Like, that was totally inappropriate. And nobody talks about stuff like that, All of this, lock him up and stuff like that, and trying to bring up things from 2016, saying that he was involved with hush money because he wanted to interfere with the 2016 election, whatever. I just don't buy all those things. I just don't. I mean, they're okay. So let's say both sides are slinging mud. Do I wish that Trump would just stick with the policies? I absolutely do. I'm fair. I wish that he would, instead of criticizing Kamala, because we could see these things for ourselves. I wish that he would stick with the policies that he plans on enforcing when he becomes president elect. Okay, so that is fair. I am human first. I'm not gonna say that for one and not the other. Hey, foolish can't be stopped. So I am human first is coming up. Okay. I am going. Wait, let me put up my banner. Maybe he disagrees with me. I don't know. Hang on. I am human first. Let me put up a banner. I can't find my banner. All right, I'm just gonna let y'all up. Oh, here it is. Here we go.
Pouring bombing or anything. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hey guys. How are you? I am human first. Are you there?
Yeah, that's me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you both. Okay, let me remove my banner. Oh wait. What's good?
Hey.
Hey, you guys can disagree with me. This isn't that kind of screen.
I know. I want to first thank you for doing your politics. You know, I've been getting on you about doing something. I know we have opposing views and things of that nature, but nevertheless, I was happy to see you getting your politics back tonight.
Thank you. And I'll be back later tonight. I'm diving. Oh, I'll let you guys go first because I'm diving into day 3. My family is there at the DNC, so they're kind of blowing my phone up right now. But I'll let you guys go ahead.
Well, good evening, dear. The only thing I'm going to ask you is you said that when Trump was in office, there were no wars or anything. But do you remember when we had COVID and the whole world was shut down and Trump was telling us we should take bleach, drink bleach for COVID?
I'm glad you brought that up because let me tell you something. Number one, he was being sarcastic. He didn't mean for us to drink bleach. People took that out of context, and no one really knew what to do when that pandemic first hit. And he didn't want to cause a mass hysteria. And it actually didn't start with Trump. So people blame him because that's when we
it's not putting blame on anything. I'm just saying that the rhetoric that he used and the words that he said while even being president of the United States when we were in one of our biggest crises, he's going to tell the nation of the people, even being sarcastic, to drink bleach.
Did anybody drink it?
Be honest with you, there were some people, but did you think they would report it after that? Do you think they would actually report it?
You don't know if they drank it. That's just you assuming.
But you're trying to say that he was being sarcastic, and there's some people that take those kind of things, sarcastic thoughts and ideas, they take them literally, and they do it. Let's face it, there are some sick people in the world. Let's not fool ourselves that this man has sat up here and said that he could feel a woman's coochie or kill somebody right out in the middle of the street as a leader. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the rhetoric. You're supposed to have the whole show yourself as the highest office and standards. Now, Trump, to me, he's the epitome of, hey, I got rich on the back of other people. But far as helping people, he didn't do that.
You can't say that. You guys aren't going to say, but did you guys collect the stimulus check at all? Because there's a lot of people bragging about those checks. And I didn't see any other president do that. Am I mistaken?
Well, wait a minute. When all that came out, wasn't Trump the president of the United States? The stimulus check and all that.
I'm talking about, you said he didn't do anything for the country. The prices of gas wasn't at the all-time high that it's at right now. And we definitely could afford groceries easier. And it's interesting that people want to, like now, Michelle and Hillary and all these other very wealthy Democrats want to make it seem like, oh, we're all the same. We're for the people. No, they're not like you. They have millions of dollars. They're not like the American people. They do not feel the average American people. They do not feel inflation like everyone else, and that's all you
Well,
can see is the cost of things skyrocketing. Okay, as
I
they
could say that Trump has never been the average American
can't
people either.
afford to live the way that they want us to live.
Wasn't Trump already a millionaire or billionaire before all this came about?
But he's not trying to say that he has the same income as all of you either.
I guess not. When he tried to hide his income tax, every president of the United States put out what they were doing with their income tax. We know this. Every president, even back to the old, you want to go take it back, way back, they would show their tax write-offs. He was showing himself right then and there, you can't ask me anything. I'm not going to show you anything, but I'm going to put in a Congress and a Senate that will go along with the things I say. In other words, he has a lot of yes men. And those nine justices.
Congress and a Senate, they're appointed. What are you talking about? He doesn't just pick them out of the sky.
Look, what I'm saying is when you have a Republican, an all Republican Senate or a House, and you have a Democratic president like we had with Obama, there are a lot of Republicans that aren't going to go along with what the president says or do. Trump had his little cronies in the White House. Let's face it, he had them. And not only in the White House, he had them also in the Senate and in the, Anna Morosa. What happened to her? Whatever happened to her? She's one of Trump's biggest staunch supporters. Where's she at now?
You're all over the place. I feel you're all over the place, and I understand you're trying to make your point, and you're trying to grab straws from.
I can make a point. I can make a point. Anytime a man pays hush money to keep a woman's mouth shut about him and her having sex, and then his lawyer gets prosecuted.
No, that wasn't what it was. That wasn't what it was, and they didn't make the issue about that. They tried to say that was him trying to interfere with the 2016 campaign and the results. That's what it was. They didn't make a big deal about anything else. They tried to tie it into the election. So
what have you been found? Okay,
if you want to talk about the crimes of presidents, we can start with a lot more than Trump.
Okay, what crimes did Barack commit?
I didn't say Barack, I said president. So now what you're trying to do is narrow what I'm talking about. Pick a president who Barack has an amazing reputation as far as he doesn't have anything in his background. But obviously I'm not talking about Barack, and I'm not going to let you just pick my brain and choose a president to try to undermine what I'm saying. Because again,
I'm not trying to undermine what you're saying. I'm trying to make sense.
Didn't do anything with these emails that was supposed to be confidential and stuff like that. And I could go on to even more serious things. Okay. So what I'm not going to do is let you just try to say, oh, pick one and let's pick the squeakiest clean one that I could think of and forget about the rest. Not going to do it. I Am Human First. You have anything you want to add?
Yeah. So you actually running up against competing with the DNC tonight. So I was watching one of your fellow Republican give his speech in support of Kamala. I forgot his name is like George something from Atlanta. But I wanted to say to you, I think so. What I see the issue or the concern I see with a lot of Republicans is I don't have a problem with or you per se having your values and your specific political position. I think what causes for me most of you to run afoul is when you are forced to defend some of the actions Trump does. And I think that's where the problem is. You having your values and you being who you are and believing whatever pro life or whatever, and you wanting border, whatever that is, I think that's fine. But when you kind of have to be forced to defend the bad and deplorable actions of Trump, I think that's where the issue lies, because he does a lot of things that are unpresidential, unbecoming, unfitting, uncivil, uncouth, and just a lot of things that are pretty much criminal a lot of times. So, and I brought up the issue with Jasmine, because you brought up Jasmine calling people name, which is Jasmine is feisty or whatever the case may be, and even Obama threw shots last night, but the Obamas never threw shots, before. You remember they're the persons that were saying when they go low, we go high, stick it high. And that's how they've been for the longest.
But
Go ahead.
they didn't go that he didn't go as okay. I'm not gonna interrupt you. Go ahead. How you doing, Peach T?
Yeah, so for them to, out of all the times they could have been negative or anything salting or disrespectful, last night was the first time that they kind of really did that. And I think it would not be fair for us to like criticize them for not going 3 years or 2 years or whatever and never saying anything to the level that Trump has done. And I'll land it right there and I'll turn the mic over to you.
We have. Hang
Huh?
on, my son is. What are you doing? We have Trump just happens to be more, and Trump says a lot of things for shock value. Sorry, I got my son running back and forth. How you doing, Empress? Trump says a lot of things for Trump. Trump says a lot of things for shock value that he shouldn't say. But we can't act like he's the first president to ever get in trouble with the law, because that's not true.
True. He's not okay. So Trump does say things. Let's address his statements first. So he does. He's not the first president, I guess, to use colorful language, or I guess I can't even say that. I'm trying to think of a president in my lifetime that's done that. And I'm looking at the Bushes. I'm looking at the Clintons. Who was that? The Bushes again, and then I'm looking at Obama, and then I'm looking at Trump is like my only president that I've known to just say reckless stuff. I can't put
So you're going.
I can even go back to Reagan, who was a Republican. He didn't say stuff.
Wait a minute. So you're gonna act like Clinton wasn't? So Clinton wasn't impeached?
No.
Reckless
No.
things.
No.
I was just talking about the language.
Here's the thing. Clinton didn't act. So you're saying, okay, because someone uses a language, Clinton got sloppy toppy in the White House. Can we talk about that while he was married? But see, when it comes to the Democratic Party, no. When it comes to the Democratic Party, there's all kinds of excuses. Oh, but this or but that. And that's what I'm talking about. So I'm like sitting here waiting for you guys to mention Clinton, and neither one of you did. Not only was he getting sloppy toppy, Hillary and those confidential emails was a big deal. But see, when you have a party that doesn't care about national security, then you guys are going to sweep that under the rug, and it's no big deal. Let's just look at Trump and put fear into people about what he could do later that he hasn't done. But these people have done those things. And you want to just talk about words and stuff like that, but not actions. So I can't with you guys. How you doing, Sebastian? I can't.
I'll let Mr. Joss my thoughts. Were you about to say something?
I just wanted to say that the country is already divided. It's been divided, but now it seems like it's the haves and the have-nots idea.
Wait a minute, just my thoughts. We were talking about crimes that presidents have committed, and you guys kept.
Okay, you wait a minute.
Can we talk about Reagan? Can we talk about Reagan?
I'm trying to talk about the crime. I'm asking you what crime has another president committed. You mentioned the sloppy toppy stuff. That's not a crime.
No.
That's not a crime.
No.
I'll speak. Let me.
Both of them. Clinton couldn't have been impeached if he didn't do something wrong.
I agree.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's talk about Reagan. We forget about Iran. So that's what I'm talking about. When I speak to a bunch of emotional people, I'm not calling y'all emotional. I'm just saying you guys want to skip over all that and say, what about Trump? And then I bring up Clinton. I bring up Hillary. So wait a minute, I'm not done. Then now I'm bringing up Reagan, and we can keep going because now I want to hear you. So even though, so we're not going to say that Reagan didn't have a problem with Iran and the Contra affair.
Okay.
Thank you, Ivan. Bud. See, Bud knows what I'm talking about.
So let me let me say this. I'm an independent. So I don't choose a side. There's not a negative truth that you're gonna be able to say about the left that I'm not gonna be able to agree with. Having said that, you are correct that when it comes to Clinton and getting impeached for his actions, adulterous actions with Monica, you are correct. he did something wrong. Was it like something politically wrong? No, but he lied about having an affair with a young lady. And that's from I'm trying to remember the story because I was young at this point in time, but he got impeached for telling a lie about having an affair. That's the
You guys are
basic.
trying to minimize. You guys are trying to minimize
Okay.
it, but that's not what I'm gonna let you do because you guys, number one, there's a moral standard, there's a code, and you guys want to say, oh, because Trump was convicted of these things, stuff like that. But you guys have to remember, there's a standard, and there was. You guys are downplaying what they were actually charged with.
MU.
Slavery was also legal at one time, so we're not gonna act like just because something is legal or illegal makes it right. We're not gonna do that. Because if you are supposed to be held to a higher standard, hold everybody to a higher standard. You want to tell me what Trump said and about some hush money and these things that happened. But when I bring up something that still was just as morally disgusting, whatever, you guys want to dismiss it and say, oh, well, the
No,
law.
I'm not dismissing it. I'm not dismissing it.
I get really tired of the
That's why I don't like to get on panels.
That's no justice.
Off from the Democratic Party, you guys are, oh, but this and oh, but that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's address what you said head on.
Great.
Clinton slept with or had sexual relations with a young lady, and he lied about it point blank. And if that rises to the level of him being impeached, he got that within the House. Point blank, and I'm not making any defense of his action. He lied about it.
Okay, but isn't there something called perjury, and is perjury a crime? Because he lied under oath. Where you're trying to downplay? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody? I'm sorry, I'm not going to ask people on the panel because they're obviously biased. Can somebody from the chat please tell me if perjury is a crime?
I don't know, but I think
Clinton committed a crime.
I think maybe in a federal, maybe if you
I'm
to
gonna have to come back to this conversation later. I really appreciate you guys. My kids need me, but
okay, dear.
Yeah.
He did commit a crime. I'm sorry that you guys might feel cut off, but I'm going to end it on that note because you guys are wrong.
Okay. I think I agree with you. He did wrong. Okay. I'm not defending him. If he broke a crime, if that's considered a crime, I'm not going to.
It's not considered a crime. It is a crime. Perjury is a crime. You cannot lie under oath. Clinton lied under oath. He was sworn in. But thank you for coming up. I'm going to go take care of my kids, and I'll be back and talk to y'all later.
Okay. Thank you. You have a good one. All right, bye-bye.
Bye, you guys. I apologize, you guys. I need to deal with my kid right now, but I wanted to leave on that note. So let's focus on the policies and not the people. Thank you for coming up, both of you. I really appreciate the conversation. Don't think that I wanted to cut the conversation short, but I gotta attend to my kids right now. Let's focus on the policies and not the people so much, because people will disappoint you. But the policies are there. We can't say, oh, Trump committed all these crimes and stuff like that, unless you're going to call out crimes in all the presidents, all right? And it's not just, he's a Republican, I get it. But did you notice that when I brought up crimes in the Democratic Party and what happened, it was downplayed? Thank you, guys. Feel free to like, comment, and share, and I will look at your comments after the stream. Take care. Bye-bye.